Hello there. So in this video we're going to learn how to play lots of songs. So you need to be at the stage where you can play your usual chords that are quite common, your E's, your E minors, your G's and D's and so on. And then you need to know a little bit about strumming patterns. So if you know that much, great, you're going to be able to play tons of songs. And what I'll do here is take you through each one, tell you the chords and tell you a strumming pattern that you could use with it. First song is Songbird by Oasis. We're going to use two chords here, a G. And if you use like your little finger or the big G or this G, whatever G you know, just go with it. Then E minor. And you might hold it with those fingers. Whatever works for you. So that's the two chords, G and E minor. So what you'll see on the screen here is there'll be 4 G's and 4 E minors. So for what I'm showing you here, that constitutes you playing the G with a strumming pattern one time, then another time, then another time, then another time. So 4 bars, 4 measures of G, and then 4 of E minor. That's the way it's going to go. So a strumming pattern to use with this that will sound really good is the following. That's down, 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 up. And if you want to count that, it's 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and. Let's see what it sounds like. The next song is called Dance the Night Away by the Mavericks. Now we need 2 chords for this song. We need an E and then a B7. And I'm going to give you a tip straight away. The middle finger will be in the same place for both chords. So try and resist the urge to take your fingers off and then replace them whilst you're trying to change chords. Try and keep that middle finger stuck there. Okay, now the strumming pattern that will work with this is one where your arm just continuously plays downs and ups like this. So down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And if you want to count that, that would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's see how it sounds. Next song is Tulsa Town by Clapton. Now bear in mind when I'm showing you these songs, these are to get you making music and not necessarily worrying about how to play this song in the exact right way and all that stuff. That's not really important when you're learning guitar in your first few years really. So there's a lot of layers in music, and particularly on Eric Clapton songs you'll hear other instruments, fancy lead guitar stuff and all that. But this will get you playing along to the song. 2 chords, G's and D's. Now the sequence that I've got here, it goes G, 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 then 4 D's and 1 G. That's the chord sequence for the song, and that repeats over and over. So G, 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 D, 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 G, and then back to the start with the G's. And it just keeps going like that, okay? Now there's a bit at the start of the song where there's no singing. You can just ignore that for now. This is going to occur once the singing comes in, and then this chord sequence will continue on after that. So you can use any strumming pattern for this. I'll give you this one to do. That's down, up, down, 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 or 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. Let's see what it sounds like. Just restart all that and you keep going. Now the thing about these songs is they may be easy or they may be difficult for you at the minute, but a big part of learning guitar is being able to retain these chord sequences in your head without having to like look up and see what's the next chord, or without having to think too much about what shape you're making chord wise over here. So they may be easy, but go through them anyway, try and memorize them. Next song is Stand By Me by Ben King. Sounds really nice. Put a capo at fret 2. Now if you don't have a capo, you can just do it the way you've been doing things before, but it'll sound like the song if you do it this way. There we go. Okay. Now the chords we need are a G, an E minor, a C, and a D. Alright, so 2 bars of G, 2 bars of E minor, 1 bar of C and then D, and then 2 Gs at the end. But then make sure you go back and do 2 Gs at the start again. Okay, so that's the sequence to remember. Now, a very nice strumming pattern that works with this is the following. That's down, down, up, up, down, up. Down, down, up, up, down, up. Or you can count it 1, 2, and 4, and 1, 2, and 4, and. Let's see what it sounds like. On to the next song called I Got a Feeling. Now, it doesn't use too many chords this. We've got G's, C's, E minors, and C's. That's the chord sequence, and there'll be 2 bars of each of those chords. The strumming pattern that will work with this and make it sound like the tune itself is what I always call a continuous pattern, so your arms constantly doing downs and ups. That's down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And if you count it, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's see what it sounds like. Next song is an Ed Sheeran song called Don't. Now this is a real simple way to play it. Just keep in mind what I said earlier. There's lots of layers in music, other instruments. So this is just a way to get you playing along to the song a little bit. Capo on first fret. And kind of similar chords we've been doing a lot. 2 E minors, a C and a D. Okay. Now it's pretty fast this. But just start off with a speed you can manage it. Strumming pattern that'll work is just this one. That's a down, 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 up. Or if you count it, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and. Let's see what it sounds like. Next one is Save Tonight by Eagle Eye Cherry. Now we've got 4 chords here. A minor, F. Now on the F chord, there's different ways to play it. Whatever F you know, just go with it. If you know this one, or this one, or this one, or this one, don't worry if you don't know those others. Do the F that you know. Okay, so A minor, F, C, and a G. 1 bar of each of those chords. Now this one's pretty fast as well. The strumming pattern I'm going to suggest here goes like this: 1 and 2, 3, 4 and. So that's 1 and 2, 3, 4 and. 1 and 2, 3, 4 and. Or down, up, down, 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 up. Okay? Now don't worry about playing this fast straight away. I'll play it slow for a bit and then I'll speed it up just so you know what it could sound like. Here we go. Next song is Don't Stop Believing by Journey, and I think a lot of other people have covered this since the song was released because it's quite an old song. Now, to sound like the song itself, put the capo on fret 4, and bear in mind there's a lot of lead guitar and heavy rock guitar in this, but this sounds like the chords in the song, and if you started singing along to this or playing along to the song, it'll sound like it. So the sequence we need is C, G, A minor, F, then again C, G, E minor, and F. So what I was saying earlier about memorizing chord sequences, that's an important part of learning guitar. So you can see it's almost the same, but the first sequence, if you will, has an A minor and the second sequence has an E minor. So it won't be too hard for you to memorize that. Then the strumming pattern we'll use on this is the Ben King one from earlier that goes 1, 2 and 4 and 1, 2 and 4. Let's see how it sounds. Next song is Hound Dog by Elvis. Now keep the exact same strumming pattern you were doing before for the Journey song. That one there. That's 1, 2 and 4 and. Now the chord sequence here is 4 C's, 2 F's, 2 C's, G, F and C. So you might need that in front of you to get it memorized, and that's fine. And then just something at the end to make it sound like the song, you need to put a bar of rest in. So let me play this to put it in context for you. There we go. go. So just to make this sound like the song and get a bit more development for your playing out of it as well. After you play that last C, I want you to take your strumming arm and just dampen those strings to cut out the noise from the guitar. And as you do that, you then count to 4 like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Before you kick in and restart that chord sequence again. And I think if I remember correctly, that sequence repeats 8 times, and that's the whole song. Next song, different chords from what we've used so far. It's called Mechanical Wonder. Now, it just uses A's, E's and D's. Whatever way you know how to hold A, with those fingers, or this way, or however you hold A, just go with it. The strumming pattern that sounds good with this is the very first one from Songbird. Goes like this. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and... Let's see what it sounds like. Now I'll show you 2 songs by a band called Lynyrd Skynyrd. Now they're quite famous and old songs, and again what I've been saying is that there's a lot of other layers in this, like a lot of cool lead guitar and some picking stuff over here. You just play these chords and it'll get the gist of the song and get you making music. So for this song, Sweet Home Alabama, I'll show you a new chord possibly here for you. So good old D chord is what you need. Now there's a chord called C add 9, not CAD 9, okay? C add 9. Now, there's a few ways to hold this. I'll show you this for now. Keep your third finger where it is for the D chord, and then make this shape here. So, third finger's where it was. First finger goes to the 2nd fret of the 4th string. Middle finger goes to the 3rd fret of the 5th string. Leave out the big thick string. Now there's a few things you can do. You can leave that skinny string open, or you can put your little finger on the 3rd fret of that string and double up with these guys. And I'm going to say to you, whatever you like the sound of best. Either way is fine, okay? Then you need a G chord. So if you know that G, that's cool. But what you could do is, if you did your C add 9 like this before, with those 2 fingers doubled up, we can play what's called big G. Leave those guys there and just put these where they normally would go for a G chord. And you get that fuller sounding G chord. So this is the way I'm going to play it. So I'll explain the strumming in a sec. Let's just have a listen. Okay, that's what we're going to try and play. Now I'm going to leave it to you to see what you can manage with those chords. The strumming pattern that will work nicely for this is the following. 1, 3, 4 and 1, 3, 4 and. So you might notice I'm missing 2 there. Now sometimes this is difficult, so if it's too difficult, you can put the 2 in like this. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and. But what I want you to try and do is leave a gap there, like this. 1, miss 2, 3, 4 and 1, miss 2, 3, 4 and. Okay, a little bit trickier than some of the other patterns, but it will sound like the song. I'll do it one more time here. Next one by the same band is called Simple Man. Now you can do this song tons of ways. I'm going to give you a more simple version here. So the chord sequence is C, G, then 2 A minors. Now I'll give you a simple strumming version of this. We're going to use the following pattern: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and. But to make it sound like the song, do it gently. Don't be strumming maybe as loud as you were for some of the other songs. So something like this. And you'll notice I'm not going too fast there or trying to be too loud. It's quite a mellow song. So you can do it that way. Or, a cool way to do it is this. We'll use something called picking, where you hold down your chord shape and pick through the strings, okay? Now, what I want you to do is you've got to pick 8 notes in there that sound something like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That was 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So all I'm doing is picking across 5 strings and then back 3 strings to make 8 notes in there. The same on G, and you can choose what strings to do this on. Sounds really nice that way. If that's too fancy for you, forget all that, just do the strumming version. Next song, Bob Dylan, Knocking on Heaven's Door. A lot of other people have covered this too, much more modern artists. Now, I'll give you 2 options for the strumming here. You could do the same pattern that you were doing for Sweet Home Alabama, that goes 1, 3, 4 and 1, miss 2, 3, 4 and. You could do it that way, or you could do 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and. Either one is fine. I'm going to do it 1, miss 2, 3, 4 and. And I'll just go through the chord sequence then. So it's a G, a D, 2 A minors, then G, D, and 2 C's. And this is what it sounds like. Next song is called Radioactive. Now, capo and fret 2 for this. So, chords are A minor, C, G, and D. Now you could use a bunch of strumming patterns for this. Pattern I'll give you to do here is 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and. Okay, so 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and. Or Let's see what that sounds like. Next song is called Hey Soul Sister by Train. So this will go on 4 this time to sound like the song. And I'm going to suggest use the exact same pattern from the song before, Radioactive. So that was 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and. And then the chord sequence is 2 C's, 2 G's, 2 A minors, 2 F's. Now this is quite fast, this song, so I'll start off slow and then speed up the speed a little bit just so you can hear what it could sound like. Next song is called Read All About It. Now put your capo on fret 2 here. Now this is really a piano song, so there isn't guitar and strumming to listen to in the song, but you can still play the song by following the chords of it, and there's a few ways you could do it. So I like to play it with the pattern we've used a few times. It goes 1, 2 and 4 and 1, 2 and 4 and. So let's see what it would sound like here. Which is fine. What you could also do is this nice picking sound you can get with the guitar. Or I'm going to suggest try and pick out 8 notes like this. And you just go through the sequence and try that. So you take the chord you want to play, ignore strings that aren't in the chord, then start from the lowest string in your chord, in this case that 5th string, not this one because it's not involved. And then you can pick any of the strings, but it just makes sense to follow them in a linear way like this. Then do it on the next chord. And just find 8 notes in there so you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, just like that. Next song is an old Bruce Springsteen song. You can keep the capo on fret 2. Now there's not really a lot of guitar to follow in this song, but it gets you making music and you could play along to the song this way. So you really just need 2 chords, A, and you could play a D here. But to make this sound like the song, we're going to turn this into a D sus2. All you do is take that middle finger off to turn that first string into an open string. And you get that nice airy sounding chord. Now you can do this with any strumming pattern. I'm just going to throw one in there that you haven't used. 1 and 2, 3, 4, and 1 and 2, 3, 4, and that's down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up. And you just do 4 bars of each chord. Let's have a listen. Okay, and I'll do one more for you for now. Now, the reason I like to give you this one to do is it has B minor in it, which isn't too common a chord when you first start in guitar, but it will come up. So let me show you how to play the B minor here. Now, first finger goes 2nd fret of the 1st string, middle finger 3rd fret of the 2nd string, little finger 4th fret of the 3rd string, 3rd finger 4th fret of the 4th string. Leave out the 2 lower strings for now, so you're just strumming those higher strings. So just bear in mind, it's not at the 1st fret this chord, it's at the 2nd fret, okay? And what I do suggest when you're playing this is don't build it this way. I would rather you do that. Get these lower strings sorted first, get those guys working as a team there, and form it like that. So you need B minor, A, and then 2 bars of E. Now this is a very, very mellow song, so you can use a nice light strumming pattern that just goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and be real gentle with this. Very nice. Now what you could do, which will sound much more like the song, is use the picking that I've mentioned in a couple of the other ones. So again, pick out 8 notes. So something like this. Okay, and you just pick out 8 notes that aren't too hard for you to play really. So all I'm doing is going from this 4th string to the 1st string. Then I'm going to restart on that 1st string. So string 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then on the A chord I'll start from this 5th string, so 5, 4, 3, 2, and then go to 1 but come backwards. 1, 2, 3. Then on the E's, start with your thick string, go across the lower 4, 6, 5, 4, 3, and then skip to the 1st string and come back to higher 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there we go, there's lots of songs to practice to get you using your chords and getting used to strumming patterns, even some picking as well, and trying to make stuff that sounds like songs themselves and actual music.